Are self-improvement videos productive? Now, it's so funny because I think you might have the same experience with me with this, where you start watching lots of videos about self-improvement and you find that your life really sort of improves from watching them. And then after a while, they start getting quite sort of addictive, and you start sort of watching them all the time. And there comes a point where you start thinking, like, is this really very productive anymore? You know, am I actually getting anything out of watching these videos? And it's funny because the stuff that you're being told in these videos, like, it's good stuff, it's good practical stuff to improve your life, but the kind of pleasure that you get out of it is kind of the same pleasure as you seem to get out of just watching any video. I mean, it's funny, like, I watch all these sort of self-improvement YouTubers, and I'd love to say that it's just because I really want to improve my life, and obviously there's like a big part of that, me, that does want to improve my life. But I don't think that's why I'm actually watching these videos. Like, it seems that I'm drawn to at this point in my life, like, I'm drawn to self-improvement videos when I'm tired, or when I'm, you know, I just want something to do, I want something to listen to when I'm falling asleep. You know, I don't actually seem to be that concerned with, like, actually getting information out of these videos. And I think a lot of the time, the kind of videos that I'm watching, it's just like stuff I kind of already know, you know, and there's a lot to be said for hearing something lots of different ways, you know, like, that's what people say about meditations, is like, it's basically just one thing, like, be a stoic, you know, a stoic person. But it's said, you know, it's just, the whole book is like different ways of saying the same thing, and like, you do kind of need to hear the same message quite a lot to sort of understand it. You know, so in a sense, you know, it's not a bad thing, but I don't know, I do sometimes feel like, what am I searching for in these videos? You know, what's the sort of objective here? You know, I think a lot of the time it is just kind of a buzz, that buzz of, like, entertainment. That kind of, yeah, it's funny, because you'd think, like, if it was just a buzz you wanted, you'd just go on to, you just watch something else, you just watch, you know, I don't know, just any other kind of content on YouTube. But it's funny, I do think self-improvement videos aren't exempt from this danger of just becoming, I hate this word because it's so overused, but just mental masturbation, you know. Unfortunately, they're not exempt from it. And you can use them as a way of procrastinating. That being said, I do think it's just, you just got to be blind to think that there isn't some way that they're helpful. Because I have made huge sort of improvements in my life recently, and to claim that that's not down to self-improvement YouTube, like just fun self-improvement YouTube videos, is, I just don't quite buy. I think there must be a positive influence that they have as well. Otherwise, you know, where else have I got this sort of drive to improve my life from? You know, and I've done sort of practical things that I've learned from YouTube videos that have worked. So it must be like just a double-sided coin. Is the conclusion I come to, is that, like, they can help, but they can also just be a form of mental masturbation. So that's basically the conclusion I come to, is that they can serve either world. They can be just as useless as any other kind of dopamine source of YouTube video, or they can be super helpful. And it's down to a lot of factors about how you consume YouTube videos, and, or specifically these self-improvement YouTube videos, how you consume them. And obviously Hams is very big on this. He'll always say, in like especially if it's a longer video, he'll always sort of emphasize halfway through, like, don't scroll down to the comments, put this video full screen, take your hand off the mouse, you know, practice looking into my eyes while I'm talking, you know, these kind of things, because that's how he's such a big believer in, like, that's how you're going to get value out of it. And like, you know, he'll do a lot of like things that you can actually put into action, so like you actually get something out of it rather than just like, oh, it's a nice video to watch. So I think really the approach I have with it is just treating it as something to get something out of, and wherever you can, just take notes. So this is something that we don't really think about, but you don't really realise how much you forget. Like if you I don't know, when I read a book or like doing a course or watching a YouTube video or whatever, and I just sit there and like in my head I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna remember all of this, like this is all going in, but you just forget how quickly you forget everything. Like if you've ever been on a big sort of doom scrolling session on TikTok or Instagram Reels or something, and you find one really funny or really interesting reel, and then you scroll away, you like it or whatever, and then you scroll away, and then you keep scrolling, and then suddenly you think, oh, where was that video that was really funny? Maybe you want to show it to someone. And then you scroll up. In your head, it's like it's only a few scrolls away, but then actually it's like millions of. And you see all these other videos that you just forgotten that you saw, and you're always like, oh, the next one, that'll be it. Oh no, there was this one before it. Oh, this other one before it. And like the human brain is a bit like that. It does just, you forget how much you forget. You know, you don't really realise how prone the brain is to forgetting stuff. So if you want to get the value out of self-improvement YouTube, and a good way to actually check if what you're watching is genuinely of like value is like try taking notes and see how that goes. See what, because once the video's finished, well, you know, you got stuff that you remember from the video. You know, how does that feel? Do you feel like the notes that you've made is like a good video, they're good notes, or is it a bit confused and you haven't got much to say about it? And then you remember them. So just wherever you can, like try and treat self-improvement videos as like, you know, something to sort of take seriously, and like, you know, if you want to get that thing out of them, then just sit there with a notepad, and you know, everyone's got their own method of taking notes, but just every time you hear something cool, just write it down. So that's one thing you can do. And the other thing I could say about making self-improvement YouTube videos helpful is don't just consume. Actually, like, just learn to sort of synthesize what you learn into your own form of content. Now, it's really weird. I don't quite understand why this is the case, but I do think like just having my own YouTube videos, my own account where I'm talking about self-improvement, I do think it's just wonderful. And I don't really know why I'm backing it so much, but I just think if you're on self-improvement, you know, if there's some aim that you're watching these videos, you have an interest in a certain aspect of self-improvement, or even just self-improvement generally, you know, you should just try making a few videos. Just needn't be any higher budget than what I'm doing right now, and you just be really amazed by how much better it feels to do that. And I do think there's something quite unhealthy about just, it's not natural to watch lots of videos of someone like Hamza or First Man speaking to you like it's just you and them. You know, that's not really, you don't want that to be your only sort of source of info when it comes to self-improvement, because your brain doesn't really, think about it, your brain doesn't really know what's going on there. Because kind of in the most primal part of your brain, it doesn't understand like modern technology. It's just like it thinks you're actually talking to Hamza, right? or First Man, whoever it is. And it might sound a bit weird, but I just think it sort of redresses the balance if you start participating in this kind of content yourself. Because I think that at the end of the day, YouTube is a social media in and of itself. You know, it's easy to see it more like a streaming service like Netflix, where you just consume. But I think if you really want to get the benefits of YouTube to its maximum, you start putting stuff back into it as well. And that's kind of why it was created. It was created for this reason, right? Like people, you know, just like a normal social media. Start treating it like that. Start making your own videos, and for a start, you'll start watching videos with a bit more intention. You know, like a lot of stuff that I watch that's self-improvement related, like it's just great. I think about it. I go away, I think about it, and I come back, and then I kind of have my own spin on it, and that's really nice. That's really nice, sort of to be able to do that, and it gives kind of more of a purpose. And look, it doesn't have to be a huge thing. You don't have to have any real goal with it. To be honest, you know, I've got big plans for my life, but I don't massively worry about where this YouTube account is going. Like it's encouraging for me to get followers, but it's just, I think the big thing is just you almost don't think too hard about where it's going. You know, but anyway, just try those two things. Just treat it like you would something serious. If you're watching self-improvement and you want to get something out of it, sit down there with a pad of paper and just make notes of things that you find useful. And it's good to see self-improvement going in this direction, you know, where that seems to be more encouraged. And just try synthesizing your own videos. You know, just simple as these kind of things where you just turn on the camera and just practice talking. And you'll be amazed by kind of what sort of results you get from it. So those are the two things that have helped me. Anyway.